Hi guys, I'm back. I didn't film or read anything for the second week of the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon, so I thought I would make up for that fact by doing a 24-hour reading challenge. If you are wondering what the heck that is, it's exactly as it sounds. I will be trying to read as many books as I can across the next 24 hours. I know, I've never done anything like this before, but I am excited to try. So this will be a 24-hour reading challenge, the O.W.L.s edition. Basically, I'll be trying to read as many books as I can to fulfill my promise for the O.W.L.s over the next 24 hours. Let's see how many O.W.L.s I can complete, because as of now, I have only completed 1 out of the 7 that I need to do. And that's crazy because I only have about 2 weeks or so left. And I do not like to fail. No, your girl never sets herself up for a challenge just to fail. So you bet your ass that I'll be working my butt off to make sure that I complete this reading challenge. Anyway, I will probably be starting by reading House Moving Castle, which will fulfill my prompt for having a character that shapeshifts in a story. Yeah, I'll let you know how that goes and I'll update you on my progress as well. Anyway, the other day I dropped by to a secondhand bookstore and I got more books. I didn't plan to, but you know, there's nothing else I can do at the moment, and buying books just bring me a lot of joy. I got myself The Shadow of the Wind and Daisy Jones and the Six, and another one is something that I did not pick up at the secondhand bookstore, but an actual bookstore. I wasn't even looking for it, but I found it and I was freaking excited because I didn't think that I would actually see it. It is The Killing Joke. This is the comic that the movie Joker was inspired by, and it is looking very interesting. I can't wait to read it. I will let you know what I think of it. Anyway, I will start my 24-hour reading countdown at 12:30. So I will start at 12:30 today and I will end it at 12:30 tomorrow. And by then we will see how many pages I've read across how many books. Just so you know, physical books count, audiobooks count, graphic novels count, everything goes, okay? So I'm not gonna limit myself. I am so hyped, I am caffeinated, and I am ready to read some books. It's 12:29, and to prove that I am starting at exactly 12:30, not starting any minute or second earlier than I'm supposed to, I will be right here until the clock hits 12:30, and then I'm gonna get to reading. Man, I've had too much coffee. I had about 2 cups already. I mean, the readathon hasn't even started yet and I was tired already, so I needed that. Okay, we're almost there. We'll just wait for a while. It's so sunny and beautiful outside. I'm definitely gonna go read outside for a bit later. Guys, it's 12:30. All right, it's time to get to reading. No time to waste. Come on, come on. Under the covers we go. We're going to start with this one. House Moving Castle. Whoop whoop! It's 2:50 and I'm currently on page 102. So that's my progress so far. I am currently feeling a little peckish and hungry, so I might go out and grab a few things from the store because I am out of snacks and I ate my last remaining chocolate as I was reading this. Of course, we must not forget that we need to wear our mask and bring our sanitizer out to maintain cleanliness. I'm hoping to get further into this book, so I'm going to bring it out with me. I'm having a good time so far. It's pretty interesting. I already vaguely or mostly know how the story goes because I've watched the movie, but this book goes into way more details and talks about a lot more that's not mentioned in the movie, so I'm having a good time. I actually chuckled a little bit reading about some of the things mentioned in here. See you later. remember when I told you that I was gonna go out to get a few snacks and stuff? It's almost 7 p.m. Looks like someone will have to stay up all night tonight. Anyway, I got dinner. Nothing special tonight. Just gonna eat so I can get straight to reading. Or better yet, I am going to listen to the audiobook as I eat. Hey friends, welcome to the end of the 24-hour reading challenge. And no, it is not actually 24 hours from when I started the video. It is several days later now, and I've already had the entire Lord of the Rings movie marathon. I finished the 3rd season of True Detective. I've had McDonald's, I've had A&W root beer float, countless number of meals. I've gone out and bought snacks. Done a lot of things. I've chilled in bed, but I haven't updated you yet on my progress because I was so exhausted after doing that. I actually managed to finish a few books, but I didn't actually read for the entire 24 hours. I did actually go out, and also trying to shoot the video took up some time, well, more time than I thought it would. You know, it was my first time doing that. I fell asleep. I intended to stay up for the entire 24 hours, but I did not manage to do that. I fell asleep at around 2 a.m., woke up right before sunrise, and then read a little and promptly fell back asleep. Maybe next time I will attempt to read for the entire 24 hours and not try to cram so many activities in or go out, because then I'll actually know how many books I can read in 24 hours. Well, anyway, I finished House Moving Castle, which is the only physical book in this list. I read it for Transfiguration, which is to read a book that includes shape-shifting. I first watched the Studio Ghibli movie version of this years ago and was beyond delighted to discover that there was a book version of it too. In short, this book is about Sophie, one of 3 sisters who works in the hat shop for her stepmother after her father passes away. One day, the Witch of the West comes to the hat shop and puts a curse on her, which turns her outer appearance into one resembling an old grandma, when in reality she's still very young. Seeing this, she flees from the shop and goes on an adventure without really intending to. It is a simple and sweet little magical story and a very easy read. I would recommend it if you are into magical stories about witches, wizards, and exploring and finding your way. Next, I completed Sea Prayer by Khalid Hosseini for astronomy, which is to read most of a book when it's dark outside. I read this entire thing when it was dark outside, and I even made it dark inside as well by switching off the lights. I purposely picked a short read so that I'll be able to complete it within a 24-hour reading period. I read this twice, once in silence and once out loud, and honestly, I teared up. It's a small book, yes, but it's impactful. The book is written in the form of a letter from father to son, in which he talks about how their home and city used to be before war took over, and how it has now been replaced by death and bombs, and resembles nothing of the past. It talks about how people flee and how they can only hope for something better next. It was a haunting read, and I am a big fan of Khalid Hosseini's work anyway. I've read most of his other books, and I think I cried in almost every single one of them, although I don't really remember it now. After that, I listened to Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman, the king of the whimsy and weird, for Charms, which is to read a book with a white cover. Most of this book is white, so I'm hoping that that works. Man, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had no clue what this was about before I just pressed play. The only way I can explain it to you is this. One day, a boy wanted to eat his cereal, but there was no milk at home. So his father decided to go out to get some. A long time passes, but the father doesn't return. And when he finally does, he dives into this whole story about what happened when he was gone. His children said he must have bumped into some old friends. But he said that he actually met some aliens, and a lot of silliness ensued. Finally, I worked on Ancient Runes, which is to read a book with the word heart in the title. So then I read Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire, which is something I've already read before in 2016. But a reread was due, seeing as how I really want to continue with the rest of the books in the series. Every Heart a Doorway is short but packed full of fun and magic. You know all the people you read about in stories who stumble into magical worlds, be it Narnia, Wonderland, or Oz? This book is about all these children and people who do just that, stumble upon magical worlds, but it's about what happens to them when they come back into this world after their magical experiences, and how they survive back here in a school filled with people just like them. All of them want to find a way back into the world they were in and find it difficult to adjust back to the world right now. After the newest member arrives at this school, somebody gets murdered in a brutal way, and everyone is pointing fingers at each other, curious as to what happened and who did it, or why it was done. I loved this when I read it for the first time, and I still do now. Can't wait to get to the next book. Well, House Moving Castle was 429 pages long. Every Heart a Doorway had 173 pages. Sea Prey was 48 pages. And Fortunately the Milk had 113 pages. So in total, I read 763 pages over 24 hours. But really, it took less time than that, seeing as how I fell asleep twice and went out to run some errands and get food and such. Next time, I'll try to actually spend more time on just reading. I'm curious how much more I can actually read if I fully commit myself to it. Anyway, I hope you guys are all taking care of yourself and doing all that you can, even if that means some days you just want to stay in bed and do nothing, or have Lord of the Rings marathon like I did. That was amazing. I regret nothing. 1010 would do it again. You know, actually maybe next time I will do the extended version. Everyone seems to be recommending that, and I have never watched the extended version before. I have, however, marathoned it back to back about 3 times now. Pretty much an annual tradition now. And I always have fun doing it. And every time I watch those movies, I feel like reading the books. Well, I don't have the books with me right now. The last time I did the marathon, I started book 1 and almost made it all the way through. The thing about reading that book and watching those movies is that you actually literally physically feel like you are going through that journey along with Frodo and Samwise and everyone. Okay, well anyway, that's about all I have for this video. If you're wondering the question, if I would ever do a 24-hour reading challenge again, the answer is yes. It was exhausting. I fell asleep. I got stressed out about how to film it and what content I could put in, because I can't really leave too much or go places where there are a lot of people, while also trying to read as much as I can. But I would do it again. Maybe not anytime soon, but I would. And I'll make sure that you are around to watch me suffer when I do that. S and when. S or when. S and when I do that. I'll see you soon.